right, my name is Jeff and this is my son,
Ben Tucker.
That's right, and I wanted to welcome you guys to Project T-Code. Project T-Code has been in my adventure into finishing the restoration of this nice 1968 Mustang coupe. Ben, have you decided what you're going to name this car?
I decided to name it Vendetta because it's just a cool word. That's it.
Alright, so you want to name this car Vendetta. So the point here is for Ben and I to do the restoration of this. It's going to take several years. How old are you now, Ben?
I'm 11.
11 years old, so we're roughly looking at about 5 years. So we're going to take it step by step. We're going to teach him a little bit about mechanics, let him know how some of the old school technology, carburetors and everything works. And by the time he's 16 years of age, we should have a nice, cool ride for this young man to drive around in. So what do you think about that, buddy?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's get started on this. So Ben and I have been watching a lot of car shows on TV, and it really got us interested, and we thought a good father bonding opportunity would be to do a restoration. So we started looking around on eBay, and we noticed this car that was for sale, and we're fortunate that it was available locally. So it was actually only about an hour and a half away. So one Sunday afternoon, we decided to drive down and check out the car before placing a bid. Ben, is there anything you remember about the car when we first saw it?
I remember when we first came to it, he started it, and I was like, this is heaven. Let's just get this already. But then as we were driving away, Dad was like, we're not going to get that car, Ben. And I was like, oh, well then why did we check it out?
Well, the reason why is because I actually wanted to surprise this for Ben for Christmas, which is what we did. So after that, and unbeknownst to Ben, I went on the eBay auction site and ultimately ended up winning the car. So I will say at first that I was not as interested in spending the amount of money that we did for the car, but a buddy of mine that restores cars called me up with about 5 minutes to left in the auction and said, dude, you've got to get this car. So basically I listened to his advice and I did. So what we ended up paying for this car is $5,400. So it's actually got a lot of restoration already done to it, and so we're going to finish all that stuff out. So what we did for Ben is we actually then surprised him for Christmas. So on Christmas morning, after all the presents were given out, this lovely car right here was sitting inside sitting over there in our driveway. And Ben, what did you think about when you opened the door and saw that there was a Mustang in the driveway?
I was flipping out. I'll show you that clip.
That's right. We got it all on video, so we'll have to show that right about now.
We'll edit that in.
All right.
Oh my God!
You're driving in your car!
I know! This is awesome!
Oh my God, that's wipers everywhere. Look at all that exhaust coming out. Oh my goodness. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy.
All right, this is going to be our 1968 Ford Mustang. Like I mentioned before, it's a T-Code, which basically means that it has the inline 6 engine, 200 cubic inches with the 1-barrel carburetor. When you dig down into some other specifications, you'll obviously see it's a coupe with the hard top. The original exterior is the royal maroon color, and as you'll see from the interior, it is the dark red vinyl. When we look at where this car was made, it was actually made in Metuchen, New Jersey. August 25th of 1967 is the production date. From there it went down to Charlotte, North Carolina, where it was sold. And then when I purchased it in Albemarle, that's only about 30 minutes away. So basically, I think it's safe to say that this car stayed in that area for 50 plus years. It is a 3-speed manual transmission, so we're pretty stoked about that. All right, Ben's gonna pop the trunk for us. Alright, as we begin to kind of take a look down at the interior. Not the interior, but the trunk.
Jesus.
It actually has the original gas can. There's really not that much rust back here.
Surprisingly.
So that's one thing that was really good.
We might need to clean it out.
Oh, yeah, a little vacuum and whatnot. Probably will replace the gas tank.
I can do that.
Alright, Ben, we're going to get you to go ahead and pop the hood, if you don't mind. We'll take a look at Vendetta's engine. Alright, so we got your classic inline 6-cylinder, the 200. Ben, you want to pop that air filter off so we can take a better look at it?
Gladly.
A little bit of rust up here, but superficial. Nothing's really rotted out. We got lucky with what the previous owners had done. The guy was restoring it for his sister, and we know that there are some things that he wanted to do to it.
We might need to replace. I don't even know what that is, but we need to replace it.
Alright, so there's the inline 6, the 1-barrel carburetor up front. You know what we might have to do next is maybe fire this puppy up. Where are the keys at?
Oh, they're in my pocket.
Yeah, that helps. Thank you, son.
Oh.
Yeah, we're very fortunate with this car because the restoration has already been started. A guy that's been kind of a career hobbyist was building this car for his sister, then ultimately decided to sell it. So he's already done a lot of work. So he put in new floorboards. It's got a solid trunk. He put the vehicle in primer. So that's one of the things I don't like messing with is exterior stuff. So he's already done all the exterior work. We're going to need some trim work done. Other work that he's done is to put in a new headliner. He threw in new carpet in there. We got new weather stripping, door weather stripping. Done some work on the dash with the bezels there. We got new keys to go with this puppy. New ignition, new battery box, a new fuel pump. Car's got some awesome bumpers. We do have a little problem with the radiator. It's got the original Fomoco radiator in there, but it's got a crack in it. But yeah, this car is pretty good shape. I like the hubcaps. I know a lot of people don't like hubcaps, but Ben and I do. So it's the 4-lug because it is a Tico car. So I believe there's 14-inch rims complete with the hubcaps. So, all right, so I just rattled off a whole big list of things that the previous owner had done to get this car at a good starting shape, and Ben and I are going to finish this thing out. So we got a few projects in line that we're going to be working on. First is going to be replacing that radiator that we talked about. It's got a crack in it, and we're wanting to change that radiator out and put an aluminum radiator in. So that's going to be our first project that we're going to do. After that, we're going to test out the compression to kind of make sure the health of that inline 6. Obviously it starts and runs, but we want to see how healthy it is. So before we start investing any more money in that thing, we want to make sure it's in good shape. The choke that's in there now, the choke works fairly well. The new cable is put in, needs some adjustment. We also want to add an electronic distributor to it, kind of help with the ignition system and the idle. That should smooth things out a little bit, maybe make it smoke a little bit less, help out with the timing. And then the other project is going to be the emergency brake. So right now we don't have an emergency brake. After that, we're going to start looking at the carburetor. So we got that one barrel in there too, and there right now. They make some adapter kits and whatnot for a 2-barrel or even one of the 1 to 2 conversion kits. So we'll see how all that goes. Other long-term things that we want to do, put in a gas tank in here, new gas lines. We need to do some new wiring in here, so we're going to upgrade all of that. In addition, right now we got drum brakes, which are in fairly decent shape, but they just don't stop as good as what we're used to in modern technology. So I wouldn't mind upgrading this thing to disc brakes for all the way around. And then the suspension as well. Let's go ahead and modernize that suspension, get this thing up to snuff. One of the things I really want to do for sound is adding dual exhaust. I don't know why. I know it's a 6-cylinder, but I think it's going to sound awesome just to be able to turn that key and hear that thing go blah, 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 blah. And to get that, I think we're going to have to put some Flowmaster 40s on this puppy, dual exhaust, which is going to be swapping out the exhaust header. So that'll be a fun project. The interior, we're going to do a little bit of work on the interior. We're thinking of, instead of the red carpet, maybe a black carpet, and then upgrading that a little bit. And then I know Ben's got a couple of projects in mind as well. So Ben, when you think about this car when you're like 16, how do you want it to look?
I agree with like the black inside, but I don't like little bits of like yellow lining on all the seats and everything. And I also want to add racing buckets.
Racing buckets, all right. What else?
A scoop on the front of the hood, and I also want to paint it solid black with 2 yellow shoulder stripes.
All right, so it looks like the little man's got some big ideas. You know, I'm curious to see how these ideas may evolve as we get older, but hey, the sky's the limit as far as I'm concerned.
The sky's there.
All right, so I think for right now we've done a good job introducing the project, introducing the car, and our next video is going to be of changing the radiator out. So until then, thank you very much. We'll see you later.
We also